As you guys know, we're doing our summer music series right here on NSFW, where we're taking all the biggest artists on the YouTubes, all the independents, and we're giving them a platform where they can rock some worlds. And I believe I just heard the dulcet tones of some kind of keyboard instrument. Can we go live over there to the TWiT?
Well, here, let me do the intro here real quick, Brian. Our guest this week, I'm very, very excited to have. You've seen him on YouTube. He's been viewed over 5 million times with his Song a Day campaign. He will reach 1,000 songs at the end of the summer. He's got an awesome Kickstarter that we are going to plug at the end of this show. Please, he is a guy who's been introduced by Steve Jobs at an Apple Antennagate press conference. Welcome to NSFW, Mr. Song a Day himself, performing Ren the Polyamorous Polar Bear, Jonathan Mann.
Hi. This is a song about a polar bear. His name is Ren. It's a story of redemption and love. I knew a polar bear. His name was Ren. He fell in love with a flock of penguins. Now Ren was polyamorous, so he believed it could work. But the penguins were monogamous, and so he left feeling like a big jerk. Oh, Ren, the polyamorous polar bear. Ren started walking towards his iceberg home, but the ice was melting, and so he set off alone, just wandering the tundra. He was searching for love, cursing the ground that he walked upon, and cursing the sky up, 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 up. Oh, Ren, the polyamorous polar bear. Oh, Ren, the polyamorous polar bear. After months of walking, he wound up in New York. Became a hipster in Williamsburg, and the fish market was his work. One day while catching the subway, Ren was in a big hurry. He ran into this beautiful girl who happened to be dressed up like a polar bear furry. She introduced him to her friends. Oh, Ren, polyamorous polar bear. Found a new home. Yeah, Ren, the polyamorous polar bear.
Woo! Yeah! 8 flavors of wind, dude. That is awesome.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
So in all seriousness, like, how far into this experiment are you?
800 and, gosh, what is today? 67, I think, 867 or 68.
Now, we were talking about this beforehand, and I was explaining to Justin, it's like, this is a crucible. This is your Beatles going to Germany and just playing for 12 hours a day straight every single day. Like, once you've experienced this, you will have no fear of creating new material ever again. What's different about being at the latter half of the experience versus the first part of the experience?
That's a really good question. Not much. I do think that I have improved, which is sort of interesting, because when improving, it's not something that you can always notice while it's happening, but certainly since I've been documenting this, through music and video, I can go back and sort of track my improvement. Just sort of in my opinion or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, man, I wouldn't ever write a song like that, a number 204 or whatever. Oh man, that's not as good or whatever.
This is an early one, right? Right, Jonathan?
What's that? Oh, Ren. Yeah, Ren is early. So that, that's the thing about, the way I think about Song a Day is that like 10%, or about anything really, is that like 10% of them are going to be, really good. And then like 70% of them are going to be like mediocre. And then like 20% of them are going to suck. And I think that's sort of been true all throughout. It's like maybe one or two a month are like keepers, I'll write one and be like, hey, like that's a pretty good song. But at the same time, yeah.
Oh, I was going to ask, as you know, one of the weird aspects of the internet is that everything's written in Sharpie and there's no backsies. Is there anything that you kind of wish you could take back, or just you're busy moving forward?
Yeah, that's another really good question. There hasn't been anything particularly.
I wrote all these questions for Brian, by the way, Jonathan, for the record.
Sweet. I entered this jingle competition for Bing, Microsoft's search engine Bing, and it was called by MG Siegler at TechCrunch. It won this jingle won. It was called by MG Siegler the worst jingle in the world.
Oh my god!
And the thing last week. The thing about it was I couldn't really disagree with him. You know what I mean? It was pretty bad. It was very catchy. But at the same time, like that was kind of a low point and a high point at the same time, because on the one hand, I wrote this, kind of song in a half an hour or whatever, how long it took me to write it. On the other hand, it got posted on TechCrunch, and so that was pretty cool. So even the bad things, I think, have their place and have their merits, I guess.
So I would imagine one of the nice things about this kind of experiment and project is that somebody can discover you today and go back and I assume go through all 800 plus songs so far and watch your progression personally. Do you find that you find people who kind of discover you, like all of a sudden you're this treasure trove of experience and development to watch an artist, become, develop into, his full potential, and when that, like, I guess what I'm asking is what kind of success have you enjoyed as a result of not only the nature of your music, but the novel way that you're expressing it?
Well, the first part of the question, yeah, like there's been a few people, who have sort of become obsessed, as it were, and gone back and watched every single one, and then they write me and they're like, whoa, or whatever. There's even a guy who maintains a spreadsheet, and he has this like ranking system 1 through 5, and he ranks every song as they come and all that kind of stuff. So, which is
personal pitchfork.
Yeah, exactly. My own personal dude that does that. Now, if I could get 100 people to do that, I might have something, where it would be really interesting to see how the percentages actually work. But yeah, the success or the limited success that I have had with it has mostly come through the occasional sort of aligning of the stars with regards to sort of viral videos, like the iPhone 4 antenna song that Steve Jobs used at his press conference, or the Bing thing. But for the most part, my songs are so, like, from day to day, are so inconsistent, both in terms of like topic, style of the song, and frankly quality, that I think it takes a sort of really let's say like special kind of person to sort of jump in and want to follow me the whole way through. Just because the internet is really good at specific things, but I'm sort of like all over the place all the time. And if you like that, then you probably like, my Song a Day project.
Well, listen, everybody get your follow fingers ready, because John is all over the internet. You can follow him on Twitter at SongADayMan. That is man with 2 N's, like his last name. Of course, on Twitter, where he posts a song a day. It's not just a clever name, kids. It is youtube.com/TheRockCookieBottom. And I'll tell you what, this is a super awesome project that I'm very very excited for him to get funded on Kickstarter. You can go to bit.ly/kickj, the letter J, Mann, MANN. And in June, right, Jonathan, you're going to do the whole band thing. Can you explain that?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, unfortunately, the Kickstarter has ended, and we did get funded. So people,
awesome. Great.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's great. So people can write to me or whatever if you still want to find other ways to contribute. That would be really wonderful. But the whole idea of June is that up until now, Song a Day has been a solitary thing. It's been just me in my room playing all the instruments, recording it myself. I'm not like a recording engineer or anything by any means. And it's been limited by by what I can do in a day all by myself, in all of those aspects. So what I decided to do is try to put together a campaign whereby I could hire some of my really talented friends. I'm gonna bring in my friend Nick Krill from the Spinto Band, who is a really great recording engineer, and another guy from the Spinto Band, Thomas Hughes, who's going to come, and he's a great multi-instrumentalist, and bring in those guys to sort of help me through the month of June shape and create the 30 songs in 30 days in the month of June, or 31 days, however many days it is. And the other big thing about it is that it's going to be live streamed. We're going to do like one of these 24-hour live stream kind of things. So the whole time that we're in the studio making music and whatever, you'll be able to watch and see us as we sort of progress through the month. And at the end of the month, the audience is going to decide which 10 songs from the month are going to go on whatever the finished final album is going to be. And this is all leading up to September 28th, which is when my 1000th Song a Day song happens. So on September 28th, we're going to release the album that we record in June at a big 1000th Song a Day song celebration type deal. So,
in many ways, do you consider this to be your big final exam? Like, do you have nerves about it coming? Or are you just excited to have the project over? Because, I mean, you kind of went to songwriting college over the last 3 years.
I did. And I am pretty nervous about it because taking it from being a solitary thing and having it all sort of rest on me, and then bringing in all these other people who are going to be looking to me, to sort of lead the whole thing and write hopefully good songs. But, one thing I've learned is that the most detrimental thing to writing a good song is like trying to write a good song, if that makes any sense. Like,
no, yeah. Totally. You set your expectations, you get all twisted up rather than just feeling it and discovering the music in there.
Exactly. And the way I've thought about it is like to stop caring, basically. Like the moment you stop caring about what you're creating, ironically, like the better thing you create.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. And I'll tell you what, if you guys are not aware of the Spinto Band, please go check them out. They're one of my favorite bands who currently put out music. And I am so excited for this project because I'm a big fan of your work as well, Jonathan. And also, I just realized I'm going to be, you're in the San Francisco area, right?
That's right.
I'm actually going to be in the San Francisco area in June. I would love to come by and say hello to you while you're in the middle of this.
Yeah, definitely. No, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. I do want to point out too that this is a common misconception. I'm not actually stopping. This is really embarrassing. I'm not actually stopping at 1,000. By the way.
Okay.
It's funny because all the stuff that I've put out about this, I say how my 1000th Song a Day song is coming up, and people naturally assume, because who in their right mind would keep going after? Like, it makes sense that, like, oh, he reached 1,000, he's gonna stop. Like that's a natural thing to do. But honestly, like the laws of motion and things, like, it's easier to keep going now than it would be to stop. Honestly, I don't know like what I would do with myself if I had to stop. So just FYI, I'm still going to be going.
Well, that is super amazing. And I'll tell you what, everybody, again, on Twitter, it is at Song a Day Man with 2 N's. And on YouTube, it is youtube.com/TheRockCookieBottom. bottom. Jonathan Mann, thank you so much for playing here at the NSFW show.
Yeah, and actually,
Thank you guys.
That means we're out of time here. That means we got to wrap up this episode of NSFW.